I'm not sure why you got into this whole self-improvement stuff. It might be because your peers didn't give you much validation. It might be because you just had things shit growing up. Maybe you didn't have one of your parents around. But I'm willing to bet that the reason you got onto this health self-improvement thing is to do with girls. Maybe you just had no confidence to go and approach them. Maybe you're just hopeless that you'll ever be able to get anywhere with any girl. And I've been there. This video is going to be for those guys that want a bit of hope and two, want some very practical advice for the real world. I'm going to break your ideas that the red pill have instilled in you. If I asked a lot of you guys, what type of girl do you want? You're going to write down, I want some Ukrainian model. And the only reason you said that, you've not even been to Ukraine, bro. The only reason you said that is because you've seen two douchebags on Instagram Reels telling you that you want that, or you've seen them sat with some paid Eastern European model. So a part of this is figuring out what you want and setting up your life there. But also, more importantly, go into what it takes to actually get this girl, have a good relationship. I've been there myself though, bro. From adolescence to the age of 17, I literally had no hope I'd ever get anywhere with girls. I would, when I was 14, for example, I was going out with a load of friends. We'd smoke weed. There's a few girls in this room. Oh, they were such good friends, really good friends, you know? We were so good, such good friends with these girls. Fucking bullshit, bro. I told myself that because I didn't have the soul and energy to go do something about it. I wanted to bag these girls. And it was the same with every other guy in this group. Eventually I had enough. When I was 16, I quit sixth form. I was like, I'm moving to the other side of the country. I moved from Hertfordshire to somewhere called Hampshire. And I was working 70 hour weeks, just working on my grind. I wasn't perfect. There were phases where I'd go back into smoking weed, going out drinking. I was still eating junk food. I was still watching porn, but I had to do something, bro. But these were the 2 years where I really improved my life, and I eventually moved to Thailand. But I got to a point, when I got back from Thailand, and I'd made so much progress. Halfway into that year, I became a bit of a fuckboy, and I was just sleeping around. I was going clubbing. I was still going to the gym and stuff. That's how I sustained my physique and how I looked, and I was making decent money. But I was just fucking ghost, and it was empty. It's like no different from watching porn or getting a prostitute, right? It was empty, it was soulless. But it did give me the validation that I could do it. That I sort of had a bit of worth when it came to relationships. At the same time, it twisted my whole view of what a relationship is meant to be, which is a reciprocation of value. It's not just about sex. There are things outside of it. You know, and you're probably rolling your eyes because you've been watching Red Bull stuff far too long. And if that's the case, bro, you're a douchebag. You're a douchebag, bro. You really need to wake up, because that whole thing you call the fucking Matrix, which is what I'm in right now, like, you're the fucking guy in the Matrix. You've literally been groomed into watching this content. It does not apply to the real world. The only reason you say you want to sleep with Russian models is because certain people on the internet have said that. And I say it on the channel a lot. Like, give it 5 years. When you follow your habit tracker, you haven't done anything else. Like, follow your interests, follow your dreams. Like me, philosophy, history, piano, whatever it is. Going into London, going into Cambridge to expand my mind, expand my knowledge. Like, you're gonna be at a point where you're no different, bro. You know? You're never gonna be you can look at a lot of guys that teach in the self-improvement space with the abs. Bro, they're going to Thailand and getting traveling girls, bro. Like, these are not high quality women. Like, it's horrible to say. And I know it sounds like I'm being a bit of a dick here, but you actually really need to figure out what you want if you want high quality relationships. And if you want high quality things in life, you need to actually do the actions outside of like the normal gym and stuff. This just sounds so unorthodox, but I'm here to help you boys. I'm not perfect either. I'm at a point where I'm just trying to find my feet. I'm really just trying to figure out what I want, which I think I have, and it's sort of being in the right places and trying to sort of act on that, you know. But tell you what, guys, let's go ahead and get straight into it. But before we actually tell you how to get girls and where to get girls, you need to fix the things keeping you stuck. This is more important than going to the gym, doing anything. This is like phase one, and I've done a video on this on my channel already. Cut out the porn, bro. Cut out the sugar and junk food. Cut out social media. If you're doing drugs and drinking alcohol, it's a no-go. Especially semen retention. This shit needs to go 100 days. You need to reset, bro. You can see after 20 days, you can hold eye contact. You know, sometimes when you try talk to a girl and you puck up the courage, like, the conversation fades very quickly. When you're on semen retention, like, it won't happen overnight, but it's very weird that these conversations just seem to go a lot deeper and like extend a lot more. You can actually have a real conversation. Girls smell up on you as well, but it's more about your consciousness, your ability. You feel less groggy. You can communicate with your environment, the people around you, your own body. So that's number one. You're really going to be fighting an uphill battle if you don't start there. So fix that. So in terms of mindset, you need to stop putting the girl on a pedestal. She's not like the prize, you know. You sort of need to twist it in a way. It's not like saying you're the prize. It kind of is. It's like you need to get yourself to a point, or at least you need to have the identity of someone who can provide for this girl, that could give her an amazing life. Because that is what I do on dates. Like, I just give girls these fucking amazing experiences, you know, for 2 hours. Like, I mean, like, not on the first date, but when I get to know a girl, like, I become unforgettable. We go do these amazing things. We go out to London, like, really classy restaurants, things she won't forget, you know? Like, going on trips and stuff. Like, this makes you unforgettable. That is what makes someone that's really good with girls and keeps girls, stays in these really healthy relationships for really long. Like, those are the type of guys that girls will just rave about to their girlfriends. So that's the mindset you want to go in with. My other point is, I've already touched on this. It's like, find your own interests, bro. What drives you in life? I've already told you mine. It's art, philosophy, music. Is what I surround my whole lifestyle with. You know, when I go to the theatre in Cambridge, like, bro, there's endless girls, bro. You're probably not even getting around girls, but you've got your own interests, and you might not have tapped into them for a very long time. You might be a guy that's really into football or something, like, whatever it is. We all got our own style. None of us are the same. That is what is wrong with 2026. Us guys, especially in self-improvement, we followed habit trackers for years. And a lot of us are just the same, we're boring. It's what makes certain people stand out when, like, they've got all those boxes ticked, but they can also have, I mean, like, personally, I could have a million conversations literally about anything, you know, in 800 different ways. So that is how you stand out. But yeah, really figure out what you want, bro. So here's a little thing. You might think the way to spark interest with a girl is to act all stoic, don't smile, don't laugh, just act like a bit of a dickhead, which is most of the advice out there. Silly pickup lines, bros cringe. With one word, and it's vulnerability. I do not give a fuck about what I say. Like, I've got flaws. I'll happily talk about my flaws. I've spoken about my flaws on this video already. I've got nothing to hide. If I'm upset about something, if I'm angry, I'm gonna talk about it. And not in a, like, really sad, upsetting way, but I will just say whatever's on my mind. If a girl's done something I'm angry at, I'm not gonna, like, shout and raise the roof off the building, but I will, like, lay the law down. I'm gonna say what I want. And, like, if I think of something offensive, I'm gonna say it because I don't care, because it's funny. Like, that's my humor. But yeah, it's literally about switching half your brain off saying whatever you want. Because here's the thing, bro. You're probably going on like these dates, and you're probably really overthinking. It's like, okay, she's just said this. What should I say now? It's like, bro, like if I want to switch the conversation up, I'm gonna do it, and like she's either gonna find it really funny or she's just gonna go along with it, and you'll realize that it's very little about what you say, but more about how you say it. That's why learning how to talk properly, like tonality, is such an important thing. Like not saying ums, ands, buts all the time, and just changing your vocabulary up a little bit more. So that's my whole point. That's called vulnerability. It's literally saying whatever you want, and I get it. If you're gonna go around crying all the time about your feelings, you're gonna come across as a bit of a pussy. But here's the thing: you can't be like that. You can't just be like that. There's another thing to learn, and that is boundaries. A lot of guys, like, if a girl's a bit disrespectful or she's like being a bit moody about something for no fucking reason, a lot of guys be like, "Oh, sorry, babe. Are you okay? Okay, let me get you an ice cream. Oh, what about that bag? Should I get you that bag?" You need to look after this girl. You gotta be treating her like a princess. She's not a little girl anymore. She's a woman. She's an adult. So if a girl is like acting up, like being disrespectful, like especially in my house, or she's embarrassing me at a restaurant, I'm gonna set my boundaries. I'm gonna say, look, I'm not happy with this. Like, that is not okay. I'm not okay with this. And, like, if she's gonna carry on, if she's gonna disrespect my boundaries, she's not someone I want to be around. And you might think, oh, you're being really fucking sexist right now, bro. If my boys did something that I was like, bro, that's not fucking on, I'm gonna say it as well. Like, it goes for anyone. And like the boys in my life, my bros, they are gonna respect him for it, because I don't surround myself with people that don't respect my boundaries. And if like someone was to sort of like disrespect him and like argue about it, I'll be like, look, this isn't working out. Like, we've hit an impasse. Like, have a nice day. It's like I always say, like, I wouldn't. I'm never happy to like drop anyone like that, but I will, because I just my identity, my ego just won't allow it. Like, I have self-respect. That's the point you need to get to, bro. So set those boundaries. Be a bit more vulnerable. But my whole point is just say what the fuck you want. So that is how you get that respect and keep a conversation going. That's how you be an actual human. There is an extra thing. There's polarization. That's actually creating that sort of sexual energy. And polarization could literally just be about breaking the state. So you're having a conversation, and you just say something out of the ordinary, and like, this isn't like really narcissistic or like manipulative thing. This is literally about saying something that's on your mind. If you want to tell a girl she's got like the most beautiful eyes she's ever seen out of nowhere, she's gonna love it. You're gonna feel awkward, which is a good thing, by the way. 'Cause she's also feeling a bit wet now. She's feeling a bit awkward as well, which is a good thing. That is that sexual energy created. So that's polarization. But girls want to be taken on a roller coaster. Like, even if you get a bit angry, like, it's not saying to purposely be a dick, but like, girls want to be taken on an emotional roller coaster. It's what I've realized. So just say what is ever on your mind. It's polarization. Next thing, guys, how do you expect to get girls if you're not even approaching girls? If you want to start on Tinder and Hinge, I get it. I've been there. All I'll say is, I've been catfished a lot on Hinge. Like, I've met some nice girls and stuff. I've met some really decent girls. But a lot of the times, like, they do the angles and shit. Like, you don't even know who this girl is. Like, you don't even really know what she looks like. You don't know what she's interested in. She's spent probably 10 hours, like, clicking back on her profile, trying to optimize it. Like, she's put a lot of thought into this profile, saying the exact perfect thing. A lot of these girls are awkward, but that goes for yourself, bro. You're going to be awkward as well if you're just relying on Hinge. I go on about the 80-20 rule a lot. And the 80-20 rule is like the big action, the small action, which gets you that big result. But the small action is the hardest action. But the rest of it doesn't really matter. So that action for girls is literally approaching her. I see a beautiful girl, you can bet I'm going to approach her. And I feel scared, I feel awkward. But I move my feet first and I think straight after that. Because when I'm up there, I'm not gonna go, oh stop, see you later, you know? I'm gonna tell her she looks beautiful. I'm gonna notice the brand on her bag and well, I'll know some fact about the bag and I'm gonna have a conversation with her about it. I'm gonna like her outfit. I'm gonna say I like her outfit. If she tells me to fuck off, which, could happen, you know, who cares? She's gonna walk off. She might mention it to her friends, but who cares? You don't even know this shit. Especially if you live in like a big town or something. Stop making excuses, bro. Like, this stuff does not matter as much as you think it does. So, let's talk about the next thing, which is life setup. I did grow up in this area, but it turns out Cambridge is just 45 minutes away from there. My current location is a lot cheaper than Cambridge. So you know what I do? I go into Cambridge every weekend, a couple of times per week, go watch a show. Like if there's some sort of like public lecture or something on philosophy or stoicism or history, I'm gonna go check it out. And part of that is, like one of the reasons is because there are usually some very pretty girls in Cambridge. And if they're at these lectures or if they're at these shows, very likely they're interested in the same things that I am. So it's a great way to go ahead and approach girls. Like that is the whole life setup thing. Top of that, got a really nice big apartment, nice car. That is life setup. I've positioned my life in that way for those reasons. But yeah, I just go about my normal day. I don't set out to go to shopping malls and approach random girls, that I've got no interest in. But that is it, boys. I do really hope this helps you out. I haven't really scripted it too well. I think maybe this is a very broad overview. I think it will help you, but I think dropping a few other videos there about polarization, vulnerability, life setup would be a great shout as well. But if you have any questions, you boys can always feel free to leave a comment or send me a message on Instagram. Thank you very much for watching, boys.